as much as the Nickel is about cinema and about celebrating the history of film, it's also, I think, just as much a stand against somewhat mediocre culture that's been brewing in London for a while. I think there's a feeling amongst most people who live here that there's always this sense that we're going to lose the last few things that are important to us. We might lose the Prince Charles, or we might lose our favourite bar. I think it's equally important to try, against all odds, to build new things that, you know, will become important to the city, to give us a reason to put up with all this shit. Welcome to the Nickel. We've got video cassettes, DVDs, Blu-rays, vinyl, and lots of books that we've been either collecting over the years or we've been very kindly gifted from customers. We've also got a big collection of 16mm film prints here. All sorts of stuff from the Charles Bronson comedy western From Noon Till 3 to Point Blank, The Hill, Bride of Frankenstein. We've got The Mad Bomber. Quite proud of that. All these film prints have their own unique history, I suppose. So some of them are like airport prints. They'd be shown on planes back in the day on like Concorde, and they've been cut for profanity. So they've got funny little like edits in them, and some of them are TV prints. Some of them have great, beautiful IB Technicolor color in them. Other ones are a bit more faded, but all of them have with them their own kind of history. And actually, sometimes you see something on these prints that you've never seen on like a home video release or anything that's been cut a long time ago. So they all have their own story, which is cool. And we screen these, and just other like random detritus and obscene materials. You can find it all up here. If we have someone who comes in who's not a massive cinephile, they respond to the fact that it feels like it's something that, you know, shouldn't really be allowed to happen anymore in the city, or feels some way like subversive for what typically gets put up and built around here these days. I think that's what we're talking about when we talk about places like the Scala, really. And they feel in short supply in London these days, I think. And they also feel quite fragile. It might just seem fine if we lose a pub or lose a music venue or lose a little cinema, but the knock-on effect, I think, is pretty big. You know, people become orphaned from their environment and more stuck on their computers or stuck in their little lonely spaces, you know, like their living rooms or whatever. We need places to commune with one another. Here it is. All 37 seats, which were reappropriated from the Odeon Covent Garden, which was closed down last year, sadly. We got a text from someone who was following our project saying, hey, there's like 37 seats in a skip, basically, on Shaftesbury Avenue. So I called a van man, and like very quickly we sped around there, repossessed them. Then the good people at the Cinema Museum were kind enough to let us hide them under a tarpaulin for a couple of months till we got the keys for this place. So it's all very like, you know, we've saved these seats, I suppose, from being wasted and scrapped, and, you know, they're back here and being loved again and used again. I've got a really great team of people who are both friends and colleagues, and like they're all film fans, and we split the duties between the bar and the projection. Come this way, don't be deterred. I promise you there is something down here. It's our little basement bar. This used to just be a storage facility before we took over, but we've converted it into a little place to hang out before the movies with our pride and joy rotating disco ball. Our bar manager Misha takes immense pride in getting in nice fancy booze for everybody. Sometimes this booze is not optional depending on what film you decided to come and see. I would say sometimes it is prescriptively necessary in order to properly enjoy the film that you bought a ticket for. So we'll try and alert audience members whether they need to take a shot before the film begins. We've got a world of programmers who come from all different sorts of backgrounds with all different types of obsessions. And most of them started out as audience members and they've become programmers here. So we have a regular roster of those guys who come in routinely. You can watch stuff at home on a streaming service. You get the feeling that almost everything is at your fingertips. But really, like, you know, having a recommendation from a friend or someone who's deep into this stuff always takes you down a road that you otherwise wouldn't have been able to go down. And the digging around and the hunting was part of the fun. And I think that streaming services have taken away that fun, both in terms of its tactile nature and in terms of like how it was really about communicating with other people who loved this stuff. And it was like a conversation that kept spiraling into new things. And that's what you get when you come here, I think, is that, you know, you're in conversation in a sense with the other audience members and with the programmers who are putting this stuff on. And when you really see something that is memorable and the sparks kind of fly with an audience, it reminds you of why you fell in love with this stuff in the first place, really. So yeah, everyone's going to stream every now and then. You're hung over and you're going to put it on or whatever, and there's no shame in that. But I think you're getting something entirely different when you get off your ass and come out to the cinema. I'd say it's like an 18-hour-a-day job, really. But I love this stuff. I love film, and whenever I feel kind of a bit exhausted by it, I remind myself like what a thrill it is to be involved with this, and you know, and to meet all of the wonderful people who come through our doors every day. There's always this existential anxiety about doing something like this. You know, we don't have a huge amount of financial backing. We're kind of ride or die in terms of like people have to show up for us, otherwise we won't be able to keep our doors open. So you take every kind of week as it comes. If it doesn't make it, it will have been an interesting chapter in my life, and I'll find something else to do. I guess I'll have to. But, you know, I feel cautiously optimistic that we'll be here for quite a while. And in fact, maybe we'll, you know, look for another venue or find a bigger space. But there's something like perfect about 37 seats in a way.